Hey Campagna T-Rex fans, today's subject, drive chain maintenance, including adjustment. Got back from driving almost 800 miles in the Smoky Mountains. Chain is definitely dry and way too much slapping around. So first up, remove your GV bags. I got it jacked all up already using my motorcycle jack. I say this all the time, got the plastic pads so it doesn't scratch the frame. And I've got a single side Brock's Shorty exhaust, so it makes it a whole lot easier to do the chain maintenance. So first up, I normally don't do it all the time, but I'll do it for this video, is degreasing and cleaning the chain. I don't ride in very dusty conditions or dirty or muddy or where it gets really clunked up with junk. I picked up DuPont chain and gears degreaser, so I'll use that, but any brand really will do. I've got a brush for it. We'll see if I use that or not. Plan on using really just a rag, but we'll see how it goes here. Maybe I will use this brush. Definitely see the old chain lube coming off. So I think a mixture in the brush and a rag is working good. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Looking pretty good. I'm gonna clean up this sprocket a little bit. Yuck. Right, next up is chain lube. I've had this Bel-Ray chain lube. It's almost gone, so I might run out. But for the video, hopefully I'll have enough to show you guys how I do it. Basically, just so I don't get it everywhere, I usually take old cardboard or something or other to back it up. I like the white coverage so I can see my coverage on it. And I just turn it like this. Hopefully the camera angle is good since it's on my chesty. Bottom one done. And I move it up here to the top. That's all done. Got a couple little kinks in it, and I'm getting down to the end of the chain. Again, I've got 20,000 miles on my T-Rex, so I don't know when the previous owner might have changed this chain or sprocket. Since I degreased and cleaned this chain, I don't normally do this either on the back side, but I'm going to try to get it on the back side here too. Drive chain is all lubed up, both sides on the end. Everything is cleaned up and looking good. Now I need to adjust the chain, and I'll show you how to do that. Again, make sure you lube your drive chain every 500 miles or less per the owner's manual. Pro tip from Rick Higgins: use hairpin where a normal cotter pin can go. Super quick and easy to remove, and don't have to worry about bending it and putting it back in through the hole. Pain in the ass cotter pins. Bought a whole set from Amazon, 11 bucks. We need to loosen up the nut on the rear axle. I use 2 large crescent wrenches. Here's how this rear things works. I'll take these rubber caps off, just protecting the threads on the lower there. And this is the same for both sides. You've got 3 locking nuts. The top one on the main adjustment bolt, and then 2 small ones. The top will hold it out for tension of the drive chain, and the bottom protects it from moving basically the other direction, so it locks it in place. So I'll loosen all 3 of these up on both sides, 6 nuts total. 11 millimeter on the bottom and 14 millimeter on the top nut. All 3 nuts loosened up, both sides. So you want to make sure when you adjust the chain, there's 1 inch of movement. Obviously, after my long ride in the Smoky Mountains, I've got way more than that. So as you tighten up this nut right here, or this bolt, I should say, it'll move the axle and the sprocket back, tightening the chain. And to make sure both sides are the same, see how there's a tiny little crevice right there? That's your mark, and you want to make sure they're both the same on both sides. Chain is all tightened up using that nut. Got about a 1 inch or so move in my chain, and the mark has basically disappeared, and basically just get my fingernail on that spot right there. And if you compare it to the other side, it is exactly the same. So you want to make sure that the axle is the same on both sides. Make sure your rear wheel is running true and straight. You can also line up and just make sure, as a second, looking down the chain, both directions, and make sure everything looks good. Now I'll tighten up the lock nuts. I like using lithium grease anytime I put metal on metal, bolts and things back together, so I sprayed them up both sides. All right, all 3 nuts tightened up, cap back on in to protect the threads on the lower lock, both sides. Don't forget to tighten your axle nut up. Axle nut is tightened up, just snug by the way. Don't crank it down because it crushes all the bearings inside. You don't need to do that. And then don't forget, I'm using the hairpin instead of the cotter pin, and slip that in there just to protect it from not coming out. Drop it down, remove jack, put the 2 GV bags on, go for a test drive. Got back from a test ride. Everything's working great. No chain clanking around, all good, all lubricated. Super happy with it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe, Todd Kerber on YouTube. Give me a thumbs up and share. Thanks for watching.